We're live on a Friday. Hi, everybody, from the center of that galaxy, in our galaxy, which for us is a nice, slowly, maybe cooling Southern California. I'm Ken Napzok.
And I'm Joseph Scrimshaw, and this is my cape.
Ooh,
yes.
I think perhaps one of the most well-known capes in the world right now. That cape right there.
Thank you for the exaggeration. I appreciate your world-famous purple beanie.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking about getting some new colors, and I gotta go searching for the right colors. We'll see. We'll see.
Let's do a poll of beanie colors that people think you would look good in.
Ooh, yeah. I'll put a poll up here. That'd be great. If you're wondering, hey, where Jennifer is, she is joining us shortly, very shortly. In fact, I'm watching her get ready to join the show just about now. Yes, backstage indeed. Here she is, Jennifer Landa, on a Friday. Hello. How are you?
Hanging in there. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Wow. This is an unofficial, it feels like, tradition of these Friday Q&As that they always end up being great fun. And they sometimes arrive when we all seem to need them desperately to have something fun after all of the stress of life. So that's the way you're feeling. You're not alone.
Yes.
Yeah, we got some folks checking in here, watching live. Pablo saying, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope all's well. Oh, I told myself, make sure you take the 3 bar off. So when you do the comments, we don't do that thing.
Trying to give myself a little orange widow's peak there.
Hey, haven't seen you all. Hope all's well. Life's going good. You know, Pablo, I love that picture you got there. You know, life, we're going to say, Joseph, Jennifer, life is good. Even if it's not, it's good. There's a lot of things in the world that are horrible and tragic and frustrating and upsetting. And that's just Mike Johnson. But I am trying to put it all into perspective. Some days it's hard, but when we have the ForceCenter, OtherCenter crew, it makes it easy.
Yeah. Life has the possibility to be good, and that's what we're going to embrace on this live stream, I think. I will certainly echo like everything in the world, some life stuff. I'm dragging. But I know from previous experiences that it's really nice to have this stream to try to focus a little bit on the positive and have some fun with some friends. So I'm excited to do that.
Yeah. I mean, Jen, share a big win. You're our only hope.
I got nothing. Furby is basically done.
Yeah.
Furby, it looks so ridiculous. My husband's like, are you sure? You should really question your life choices at this point. And he's not wrong. It looks really ridiculous, but it's over on the table. I'll bring it maybe in a little bit. It's not fully hot glued.
So now is this a costume or your own? I'm trying to remember which Furby project.
Right. This is the Furby project where I create my own Halloween costume. I've learned when I was an Ewok to not put something over my head for trick-or-treating, which can be very hard to see with my children. So, yeah. Right?
Got it.
I mean, maybe if I had a more professional mascot costume, it would be okay, but I don't trust my ability. So I went with my face, but I have like ears. It's like a dress. Kind of.
But there's a helmet thing. There's head apparatus of some kind.
Ears. I'll show it. Shall I show it now or should I wait?
Yeah. If you can. This is I because I remember the Furbies, but I didn't. I didn't play with the Furbies. I think it was slightly not after my time. It just was in a different quadrant.
Yes.
You know.
And while Jennifer's getting her Furby, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes. So wow. Okay. I mean,
this is it looks really ridiculous, and it looks even more ridiculous on. My children might be embarrassed. So I just have to finish hot gluing the face down here.
Where does your head go?
Yeah.
In here.
Okay.
So this is kind of like a little dress that I made, and then this and the ears I made with wire. That's
okay. So you are not becoming a Furby. You are wearing a Furby, like you've defeated one in battle, and you're wearing.
Yes. The only problem was like I was trying to figure out the placement of the eyes because I didn't want it to be like obscene, you know?
Yeah.
I went outside and I was like to my husband, I'm like, do these look like boobs? Lower or higher?
It does look like a Furby pelt. Like Joseph said, you slayed it in battle and you're just displaying it in your neighborhood. That's amazing. Yeah, I can see those eyes. Those eyes are interesting.
my gosh.
Okay, so it's a dress that represents the Furbies. This is
Yes,
amazing.
my
I-
cursed
look,
Furby.
I'd give you candy at the door. If you showed up with your kids, I'd be like, take all of it. Take the
I'd
bowl.
give you anything you wanted. Gary.
You want some
my
of my vinyl
gosh.
records? Take them. Take 'em.
That's ridiculous.
Take them
Good
all.
effort.
Take them all. We should say we got distracted by Furby, but we should say, of course, that this is a Q&A. So the Q's part of that is real important. So if you have any questions for us at all, life, Halloween stuff, Furby construction, start hitting us up in the chat. We of course will take as many questions as we possibly can. We really, really appreciate the super chats. As the era of the strike goes on, and the challenges remain around here, we appreciate the super chat. We appreciate all the different support that people give us. So if you can do the super chat, wonderful. If not, that's great too. Just get those questions rolling.
Yeah, we will start taking them here. I was at a little gathering Wednesday night, and everyone there was like, "Don't worry, the strike's gonna be over." And then I slowly realized they were all writers, producers, and directors. Of course, they feel it's all over.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
Gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. Yeah. Well, it's a Friday. The Halloween is coming. Let's wait for some questions to roll in. We want some spooky questions. Jen, we know what you're doing. You're rolling around your neighborhood just flaunting this Furby costume for all the neighborhood.
Yes. Going to a party, kids party. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to wear it to my kids' school. But my husband's like, I can already see you complaining that the kids are getting too close to you, which is true. Don't touch my eyes. Don't touch my ears. But we'll see.
So do you take it? Is there some event where parents are supposed to come to school, or are you just thinking I might go down to school?
I
Just like
mean,
that?
part of me was like, I could just pick them up like this, but no, there is a little something that there's going to be a parade for my youngest. So I was like, that could be fun, but I'm also supposed to be helping, and I don't know how much help I can provide wearing that. So
I
may not wear it.
remember the Halloween costume parade at school. I'm having flashback memories to that.
Oh
It was big. It's like an early performance in my life. Like, this is it. This is the moment. Everyone's walking around. I was in my Pee Wee Herman costume. I remember that.
Did you do the dance?
I used to love doing the tequila dance. It was one of those things that it was on demand. I would be up in my room just, watching, listening to baseball or something. My mom and I would have a party, and I'd hear, Kenny, come down, do the Pee Wee dance. And like all the adults would point and laugh while I did the tequila dance. No music. I just would do the dance.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Joseph, any plans for you and Sarah, Halloween, that you can disclose to the world?
Yes, we're going to go to an event that's showing an old horror movie that I'm trying not to talk about, but I'm excited for that. And that's going to be in downtown LA, which is very, very fun in a fun old theater. So we're going to do that. And then my wife just found out that she doesn't actually have a dance rehearsal for the show she's going to be doing soon on actual Halloween. So now we get to decide exactly what we're doing. Last couple of years, we've walked around our neighborhood and watched this sounds so weird. Watch the kids trick or treat, but there's other couples out just strolling. I think we look like we maybe lost our child and we're looking for it because it's only just couples. It's mostly families, but there's a specific street that leads up to Griffith Park, and people go pretty big with their decorations. And
oh, that's great.
A couple times last year, I just like poked my head into a yard at like a Home Depot skeleton, and they're like, come in. You don't need to have kids. Come into the yard and talk to me about my skeleton.
Oh my god.
Could you and Sarah, would you ever consider like kind of dressing up just slightly, but then walking around and just kind of pretending to be ghosts looking for your children? Where are our kids? Just pop around corners. No?
Amazing.
Is that scary? Is that wrong?
I'm considering the cape. I'm considering just the cape. And people
yeah.
That's
perfect. Is that a costume, or is he cold? Is he chilly? Yeah.
In Los Angeles, anything goes, right?
Yeah. Now, in Ken, you as you've discussed, lived with a self-proclaimed witch, but are not that big on spooky season for yourself. Do you have plans?
We have plans. I'm going to an event. It's not a party, and I was gonna share it, and then I was looking at the event website, and they made very clear to say, please don't tell anyone. So I was like, what do I talk about? I'm going to an event with some friends, and it's great. The problem is it's a very crowded part of LA where they actually shut it down because of Halloween. I don't know if I'm going to get out. There's a chance I'm going to have to walk to your house and stay on your couch because I don't know if we're getting out of where we're going to be. So, yeah. And otherwise, we don't do much. As witchy as Grace is, this is her season. Halloween's one of those stay inside or do something like what you're talking about, Joseph, just kind of poking around the neighborhood. Kids come to the door, maybe with some candy, but we have a bowl out. We're trying to keep our chihuahuas are home alone. So we have to keep the bowl. I'm putting it like on the sidewalk in the hopes that no one will come past to ring the doorbell.
Yep. I remember that.
It's just going to be adults in capes taking your candy.
Yeah. There's going to be someone's just going to take the whole bucket. I'm sure.
Yes.
Somebody on that stretch did last year just have a bowl of candy and it's free candy. And I took one and Sarah's like, I think those are for kids. And like, it's a bowl on the street. It's a bowl of candy. I'm a kid at heart.
Sure.
I love that. Yeah, no, I actually might have a big gardening bucket and I'm just going to fill that to the top. And it's a cheap bucket. So if someone takes the whole bucket and runs off, life's okay.
When everything else is gone, take the bucket.
But I think I might put one of those signs like, smile, you're on a Ring camera right now. You still a crackle? I know who you are.
That's good.
There are a couple of houses up in the hills where I've been doing some walking for exercise for health. That if you get too close to their home, and not very close at all on windy streets, not even touching the actual property, the Ring camera will or something speaks to you like, just so you know, you're on camera.
No.
So if you really want to have fun, Ken, you could hide behind a bush and pretend to be an automated voice. A Ring camera is recording bucket taking activities.
We have and I get it, but we have a neighbor kind of catty corner from our house that he's got it as well. And you're on the sidewalk, you're in the city street, and you suddenly hear that like, hello, you're on camera. Like, what? Well, okay. I get protection, but then there's living in fear. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yep. Nope. I get it.
Shout out to Rick here saying, hey, friends. Everyone's checking in. We love it. We got some questions coming in here. We got some big ones.
Some very good ones. And I do want to share this because somebody empathizing with Jennifer's Furby concerns. Laserbolt Video says, my buddy wants to borrow my Mando suit for a Halloween party. I'm glad to let him wear it, but it makes me nervous because things never come back in one piece.
Yes.
Jennifer, would you borrow your Furby to somebody?
No, I would never let anyone borrow it. Never. This is how I learned my lesson. When I was 13, I let my friend borrow my purple Doc Martens. They were my prized possession. And she begged me. I let her wear them. She borrowed them for months. And I was like, oh, can I have those back? Can I have those back? She's like, finally, she gave them to me. They were ruined. They were all scuffed up. The purple had been removed. After that, I was like, I'm never loaning anything of mine again. No. I am going to be selfish when it comes to things I care about.
Right.
It's like loaning books, right?
Right.
They never come back. I had to track down. He was a very nice friend of mine. He didn't mean anything by it, but like I gave him my book on the backstage politics of Saturday Night Live that was out of print at the time, out of print. And I was like, hey, no problem. He's a good, reliable dude. Like 2 years later, I was like, do you have some other book? He's like, yeah. Like, can I have it back? Can I have my book back? Never loan books.
That's right.
Never loan books, indeed. And I've seen Laserbolt's Mando costume on one of his videos. It's solid. So I would hold on to that Laserbolt. Rent it out. Jen, would you ever consider commissioned costumes? Like if I came to you, I was like, look, this year I need to be, Pikachu. Would you know how to do that? Would you accept commission bookings?
I mean, I would love to, but it is really hard, that pressure. I already spend way too much time. I'm such a perfectionist that it just would be bad. But I love that idea. Yeah, maybe for maybe a friend.
All right. Well, sorry. I don't have a costume this year then. Right. I tried. Should we dive in here?
I
got
think,
some
yeah,
good-
we got a couple
yeah,
good questions.
big ones
On
coming
theme
in.
and everything.
Big ones. People going right to. Let's start. Let's work our way up to. We got some candy ones. Jay from Nowhere checking in here. During my time in Cali, I found Halloween felt different without fall leaves on the ground or crisp air. Do you experience a dissonance between traditional Halloween and your climate reality? This, I think, is mostly for you, Joseph, because you might be the only one that's actually experienced this.
No, because in California and in Los Angeles, it is a time of the year where it could be anything. I am bound by Minnesota law to bring up the 1991 Halloween blizzard, which, if you're alive and in Minneapolis, you have to bring it up anytime this topic comes up. But I was at a friend's house with a bunch of other people from school. I want to think like 30, 25, 30, like a big group from school. I think we were watching Silence of the Lambs. And then nobody could get home because there was a blizzard. So I've experienced that. I've experienced it's more often than not, it's a little, there's the crisp in the air and the crunch of the fall leaves. But I mean, there are seasons in LA. They're just subtler.
So yeah,
in fact, I'm wearing this shirt, my Smokey the Bear shirt. Because it is one of my only long sleeve shirts, and I was just a little bit chilly. It is getting just a little bit chilly in LA, and you still can smell it. There are a couple of trees that actually do change color. I can find like 2 of them in my neighborhood. I can walk to them and go, how's it going? So there's still enough of a shift that it feels a little bit similar of that. Just Halloween is just open season. What is the temperature actually going to be?
Yeah. Today I voted against it, but Grace put the sweaters on the dogs today. It was just enough to get it rolling.
Now, why did you vote against it?
I contended it was a little bit of just because she wanted to dress them today. Like we haven't, we don't dress them during the summer, and they're cute. They're little Chihuahua, especially Frances. She's just a little chunky chunkster, just falling out of the sweater. So it's cute. It's adorable. But it's a little cold. And to Jay's question, like yeah, you're right. I haven't experienced the full seasons of it. It can get cold here, and I grew up in a spot where it can get down 25 degrees at night with that beach weather. But I just associate darkness being a bit earlier as cold and crisp. It's like a weird connection. It's not right, but it's connection.
Yeah, no, it happens. And Laserbolt Video says there's always snow on the ground for Halloween here in Michigan. It's nice being warm in a costume.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice warm Mando costume.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Look at that. We got Matthew McDonald checking in from Scotland, nearly 10:30 out there in Scotland. McDonald. And then I was going to say our buddy Matty Gunner checking in from the UK, but that's not true. I saw on Instagram, Matty Gunner has landed in our country. He is over this yonder this way. I don't know. He's here. Love that.
I haven't looked ahead. Somebody else is mentioning the what the temperature is actually going to be
next week.
Next week on Tuesday, 83 degrees. A cool, crisp, leaves bursting in flames, 83 degrees.
I don't know about that Furby now.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But you know what? At night, it cools down. At night, that's how I know it's Halloween. Because during the day, it's usually warm. And then at night, it suddenly shifts. And I'm like, oh, shoot, our costumes are totally not appropriate. We're wearing tank tops. So,
And you do have a fan built into the Furby costume, right?
You know what? If I worked at Disneyland, like the fuzzy characters, I would. If it covered my face, I would anchor a fan.
What's the pecking order of that? Can you divulge that? I know there's some secrecy attached to it. Do you is there a ranking system about what costumes you get and what characters you play?
Yeah, there kind of is. Like, it's not really said, but you definitely feel like the people that play Mickey, Minnie, they're top tier. They're like special. A lot of times because they'll do special events, right? They're just more like they're seen more, and there's more like of a reverence. Donald, would be next. Daisy, Goofy, also high bar for that. No pun intended. Who else? Pluto, right? And then from there it starts going down. Like
It's like Droopy.
Right.
Sneezy.
If you're cute, it's okay. Like Chip and Dale, like they're always popular, but you don't see them out as much.
Yeah.
But then you get like some weirder characters, and nobody really cares.
That's great.
I want to be Mr. Toad someday.
Oh, I don't think he's not in the park.
I don't think so.
No.
Just his wild ride.
Right.
Yeah. I should leave it alone, but man, I got a mania for Mr. Toad. Anyway,
good ride. I like it.
I
wait for it. It's one of the only rides I'll wait for.
It's kind of scary though. We took my kids on it. This was a few years ago, and we were like, "Is it cool for young kids?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like you go into hell.
Yeah.
It's like dark. There's loud noises. My kids were like screaming. I felt so bad.
You go into the pit of Hades.
Like literally. They like sentence you, right? Like in the courtroom. You're guilty or whatever. And there was like fog.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But there's a reason his story is paired, with Ichabod Crane. It's, in the Headless Horseman.
Right. Yeah. True. It's a great movie.
Yeah. And it's got a black light section in it too, right?
Yes, it does.
That's usually how I discover half my lunches on my shirt. I look down and go, oh no. Yeah.
It's the glow in the dark food stuff. Yeah. We got a Jen specific question on our topic here, so we should grab this from 8984M. Did you borrow anything from backstage?
I had my earrings, my jasmine earrings. Okay. I took the shoes, and I randomly found with the parking attendants, they used to wear these like red jackets, kind of like trucker jackets with like fleece lining, and it says Disneyland on the patch. I took one of those.
Nice.
Yeah. I felt good about that. And that's about it. Wish I could have stolen a wig or something. That'd been too obvious.
Yeah, like I'm not suggesting that you would want to then sell these things on the internet to make money, but I know some I know some Club 33 people that have taken some napkins and napkin rings and silverware.
And sold them on eBay?
And sold them. Yeah.
How much did they go for?
I don't know the exact items of there, but I remember talking to them about it. And it's quite the market for Club 33 things. Wow. It's interesting. I don't know.
Have you guys ever been?
Oh, no.
I went once.
Yeah? You did?
Yeah. I went once years ago. It was cool.
Is it cool?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was the company I was with. I was with my family. My mom. It wasn't quite as fun. But I mean, it was cool. Yeah.
Did she have reverence for it? If anybody happens to not know what we're talking about, Club 33 is super exclusive. You have to have different tricks to get in, right? An exclusive kind of hidden secret restaurant in the middle of Disneyland.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. My dad would have had more reverence for it. She was just like, oh, this is nice. This is a nice restaurant. I like the Blue Bayou, though.
I was going to say.
Like it's a Perkins.
As I do, too. I like the Blue Bayou as well. But yes. I remember when you first hear about Club 33, I think I heard about it in the mid-90s, and I was like, I didn't believe it. I was like, nuts. That's nuts. There's nothing. And then the day I saw the door, and I was like, oh. It's like I've seen aliens. They're real. Bigfoot is here. Like, yeah.
I would be frightened to take. I'll take a napkin or a coaster from a cool place. I feel like most places have it sort of like that's kind of there's some level of expectation if we make a really cool napkin or like paper coaster. I'm not going to take a physical like a stone thing. But I feel like if I took something from Club 33, that Mickey might show up at my door. Like
I know someone who took a picture of Mickey down in the tunnels with the helmet off or the mask off, and you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, no.
And I was always worried, like if I'm out in public with you, there's going to be someone that's going to come with a van and pull you in.
Yeah, I have a lot of pictures like that, but that was back in the film days. That was before cell phones. So
8984MS Club 33 is the only place in Disneyland that serves alcohol too, right? I think at one point it was. Now that's no longer true because got Galaxy's Edge, and then you can go across the way to the other spot in California Adventure, right? The Carthay Circle, all that stuff. So, or just whatever you are able to bring in your water bottle.
Yeah, no, I mean it's Club 33 and in Noga's Canteen on the Disneyland side, and then you go over to California Adventures. It's just everybody wandering around with a plastic cup of $18 PBR.
Yeah, and I don't think it's even open anymore. But Ariel's Grotto was where I went one time with my buddy Matt Key. At the time, his wife used to work there, and so she didn't no longer work there. But we went there, and all her old friends were there as the bartenders. And Matt and I were waiting for his wife, Brittany. And so he and I had a few, and they went on that roller coaster, and that was not a good experience, but it was fun. It was a fun day.
Did you retain the beers?
Yeah, almost lost it. And I don't do that often. It was just like, hey man, it was bad. We were doing Ariel's Grotto, kids. Ariel's Grotto.
At least you didn't go on that one. Was it the Tower of Terror? It's got a different name now, but that's horrifying.
Oh, I love that ride, but drunk maybe wouldn't have been the best way.
Yeah,
No. Should we grab some of the Halloween centric questions we got going?
These are some thumbnail worthy questions, is what I'll say.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some great candy ones. I'm gonna grab this one from Rick Villanueva. Thank you very much for the kind super chat, Rick. Rick says, if you ever traded candy, what did you trade for? What did you trade away? If you can talk about it. Did you see the Lisa Frankenstein trailer? I saw the teaser for that. I have not watched the full trailer yet. Excited about it. Probably don't want to talk about it any more than that.
What's Lisa Frankenstein? Is that Simpsons?
It's a new movie.
Oh, it's a new movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one with the Emma Stone? Is it Emma Stone? Or who is that? No.
I don't remember. It's written by Diablo Cody. Who's done a bunch of cool stuff.
Oh God!
But I didn't know anything about it, Rick. I just saw it scroll by on the social media yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And as much as it has been so difficult to not talk in depth about the galaxy far, far away, I'm gonna lose it.
Exactly.
I made a decision, and I know people are just like, it's fine, but I made a decision for myself, proceed as though I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA, following the rules. Don't tweet about it, but I'm dying. I want to talk about Halloween movies and other movies and other things, but trying to stay consistent to the choice I made.
Yeah. I thought that has to do with the doc or just Jen's video, but that's a great side question. But to Rick's major question, I'll pitch to either of you because I'm trying to scramble to think if I've ever done this. I got to dig into my memory banks.
I would trade with my sister, I think, because I think she gravitated more towards like the sour ones. So like a Starburst is not sour, but those kind of things. Although I like sour gummy bears or patch, because those kids. But I would always trade for like an M&M's, peanut M&Ms. I love. Not everyone likes nuts. Some people are allergic to nuts, so that's an easy trade. Anything chocolate, crackle. The little Hershey's, mini Hershey's.
Yeah. Now you and I could have done business, Jennifer.
Oh,
yeah. Because as a younger human, I was a Skittle monster. I wanted Skittles, and I was like, chocolate's fine, but I didn't have any sort of chocolate tooth when I was a kid. Like I had a sweet tooth, so I'll eat the chocolate. I like Snickers bars, all that. But I thought fruit. This is where life is. This is where its excitement is. Like I want to eat a candy where if it's a different color, it actually bleeping matters. Unlike M&Ms, so I would make outrageous deals to up my Skittles hoard.
Wow.
I never. That's a solid accusation against M&Ms, which I love. But it's false and tricksy.
A bunch of branding. I want to taste the difference. Taste the rainbow, as they say.
Taste the rainbow
for Skittles.
That's right.
So I didn't trade. I'm trying to dig into the past. Because I would go, as I had mentioned on the show before, to go to the Hallelujah hoedowns that my church would throw. And so that's the whole church and maybe members of the community and a lot of candy, and you'd go home with big bags of candy, and I felt that the Lord had blessed me with a lot of candy, and I didn't need to trade for other people. I think I went home, and there were certain ones I didn't like a Tootsie Roll. Maybe I like Tootsie Rolls, but I don't like them in mass, and so. But I don't think I'd ever trade. I think that's and the truth. This is why I didn't miss trick or treat. I don't feel like missed on the experience. Well, I missed the experience, but I didn't. All my friends at school were we trick or treated. I didn't feel like I missed anything because I literally had just like a grocery bag full of candy.
Oh,
so I didn't need to trade. I just got to hog it all.
I love that the Lord has blessed you with candy. It's so cute.
Was it all like contemporary candy, or was it like, did you need to have like oldie time like
Werther's or
like the Lord particularly
Butterscotch.
smiles on caramel apples or things like that?
And I love apples and I love caramel, but never should the two be together in my mind.
It's an elaborate trick to remove children's baby teeth.
Yeah, really. And they had a bobbin for apple thing. This is actually a very fair question. No, it was all modern secular candy. It was all the candy that was the rage at the time.
The M&Ms weren't, living in sin or anything like that.
Which is again, this is they took all my toys as I talk about my comedy special, but they didn't take my candy. So I had to give up my He-Mans, but I could have a Nestle Crunch.
So you lost some candy in a way.
I lost some, yeah.
But
hey, it was fun. It was a good time. I'll say that. It was a good time.
Well,
they had one of the members of the church would play the town sheriff, and he'd go around arresting you, and they'd throw you in a little jail they mucked up. I don't know why. I don't know what the charges were. Like, Pete's coming. Let's get away from Pete.
You know my strong feelings about Halloween, that part of its value is it's just fun, no guilt. So to introduce guilt into, like, you don't even know what you did, but we just want you to feel like you probably did something wrong.
Probably did something. I can't even remember why. I think he mostly went for the dads. Like one year, my dad got tossed into jail for a little bit, and I don't know what they did to get out of it. But it was the whole Western town theme.
Okay, fair enough. All right, if there was a Western theme, good old wholesome.
yeah.
Red Dead Redemption at the church.
Even a little less. It was a little bit more how the West was won type of vibe. If you know what I mean.
Yep.
There was a lot of the history was not present for the Hallelujah hoedown.
Yeah.
We got other candy questions, but this is what I love about doing these live streams. We get some strong opinions here. Joshua Bernard brings out, I always tried to trade away Mounds or Almond Joy. Not a fan of coconut. This is like the kind of the pizza topping level of controversy when you get into coconut. Jennifer, are you a Mounds Almond Joy person?
I hate them, but I like coconut. I put it in my smoothies, coconut cream, but for some reason, it's the texture it overpowers the candy bar, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is correct. This is the correct answer.
It's too much.
Yeah. There was some, I don't remember the whole jingle, but something about sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts and Mounds doesn't. That's not how the song ends. It's a bad rhyme.
Ends with a question.
Sometimes you
don't. But that was drilled in my head because they played it 800 times during one episode of Three's Company. And then I was kind of shocked to try Mounds and Almond Joy when I was older and realized these are quite similar in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're like the same. Is it just one does not have nuts? Is that literally the only difference?
I think so.
Which
I'm gonna go with this song. I didn't even Google it. I'm just gonna believe a song from 40 years ago.
And I'm led to believe that Almond Joy is the one with nuts, but Mounds should be the one with nuts because that makes the nuts make the little chocolate mounds in the bar. I think it's this whole system.
Oh wait, you guys! I just realized it's almond. There's almonds in the Almond Joy. I just figured this out.
Right.
I did not realize that.
Is this like when in 1997 someone was like, Arby's stands for roast beef? That's RB. Oh, Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh
Arby's.
my
RB,
gosh.
roast
I
beef.
get it. Wow. What
Mhm.
else are you going to tell me?
I don't know. You know what?
There's
Just-
actually a bell in every taco. A
I was
Taco
like,
Bell, a
oh.
small bell.
I think Jay from Nowhere makes some good points. Coconut flavor good, and then says coconut flex bad. I
That's
agree
right.
with that. I agree with that theory. I don't even really love coconut flavor. I like it mixed in a
What? What?
Lots of
Wow, did not know that one.
See?
Entertainment
one.
and educational. I really felt like
Thank you,
that's one of those. It's a fact that that people break out at parties, but it's like beyond its used by date because everybody knows. I thought everybody knew Arby's.
I thought
Yeah.
this was the
For
Viggo
roast beef.
Mortensen broke his toe of fast food. I thought that's what I thought it was. You
Yep.
know? Yeah.
No, I
Yep.
did not know that. Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. There, Laserbolt expands it. America's roast beef. Yes, sir. Arby's. Thank you, Laserbolt.
Yes, sir.
Love it. We're
Oh
digging
my
it deep.
gosh.
This is
Yes.
America's roast beef.
It's
I love it.
Neil checks in. I remember having an almonds bar in the 90s, and it was great. And that was it.
Oh.
The dream of the
Remember
90s
the
is
90s?
alive in almond joy. Almond Mars. Okay.
Oh,
I hope
my
it was
gosh.
at Lilith Fair.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Just listening to Sarah McLachlan. Eating an almond Mars bar. Great stuff. We're talking about candy here. We got to go to this big one here, which has a follow-up. We've been talking about it. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Now, what I'll pitch back to both of you in terms of this question, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Is that different in your mind from what's your favorite candy? It could be. Could be some logistics. A logistics question.
Yeah, because that is true. Because my favorite candy bar is Snickers. Snickers helped me through college when I didn't, have enough money or time in between classes, and just like I need it. The advertising worked. The protein, the nuts. I've lied to myself for years that Snickers are a health supplement, but then it doesn't feel special at Halloween.
Yeah.
So every year, my wife and I get one of those bags of something like 80 little mini fun-sized candy bars, and we play the game that the corporations want us to play of. We don't like that one, but we like these other 3 that are in this grab bag. So then you get them, and then they have a very small amount of the one you actually want. In a large amount of the one you think you don't want. And then so each Halloween I sometimes get converted to a new candy bar. And this year I've really been enjoying Crackle. Yes, they got a big Frankenstein's monster bag full of Crackle.
Yeah, my man. That's my answer.
Oh, really?
It's my favorite Halloween candy because you can't really get Crackles in full size, or they're what I would describe as Halloween seasonal. And I'm a big Nestle Crunch fan, at least back in the day. Then I had have you ever had a spoiled candy bar, like a past the born on date? I was driving to a wrestling show, and I pulled into a little gas station and grabbed one, and it was like white, but it wasn't a white chocolate Nestle Crunch. And I did that it's probably still good, as I often do with gas station food, and it wasn't. So I pulled up a Crackle. It's similar vibe, similar genre of candy bar, and it's just delightful. I see that little red with the yellow font, I get all happy. Crackles, that's my answer.
What happened was I used to love the Crackles and the mini Hershey's and stuff like that. And then I started eating dark chocolate during non-Halloween times. So now my taste is off. And when I go to that Crackle, it's not the taste that I'm anticipating. So something that's always stayed tried and true for me are peanut M&Ms or regular M&Ms during Halloween.
Yeah.
But I do but my favorite candy of all time is like the Trader Joe's. They have those gummy fish. Those are
Oh,
so
yeah.
Ooh.
good.
The Scandinavian swimmers.
That's it. The Scandinavian swimmers. They're the best.
Which is
And I
always,
tricked myself into thinking that they're somewhat like not as bad as the
Yeah.
regular kind.
Such an upsetting way to describe them.
it's so bad. The Scandinavian swimmers. It's and it's because they can't put IKEA candy fish on as the name.
The Scandinavian swimmers. Come on. Anyway.
Oh my God, Jason's right. The entire bag of leftover Mr. Goodbars feels seen. That is so true.
Yes.
I like a Mr.
Yes.
Goodbar. I don't like out of context nuts in any of my food, but or salads or anything like that. But
yeah, if there's not a jingle about it having nuts in it, I'm not eating it. I need to hear the jingle first to assure me.
Yeah,
I
Great
do feel like
answers.
we need to bring this into the conversation. Jay from nowhere. Any other time of the year they taste weird, but the candy corn pumpkins in October are magical.
yes,
Very much agree. That should probably be the actual favorite. I'm so obsessed with the candy bars, but that should be the favorite Halloween candy is the candy corn, because that is
Yeah.
truly unique. It is deviant and monstrous like Halloween.
and Will McLean asked the upfront question, Q, candy corn, yay or nay, yes or no. And this is a hot button topic. This is the pineapple on pizza of the season. And I am a fervent defender of candy corn, though I acknowledge it, that it's, it's waxy goodness or waxy badness, depending on your perspective or your palate or your experiences. I love them. I will eat them by the handfuls until I get heartburn. I've even had the Thanksgiving flavored ones.
Oh, like
I wouldn't-
turkey flavored or cranberry
Yeah.
flavored?
I'm not saying I'd suggest it to anyone,
Oh,
but I did have them. So yeah, and the debates are going to begin. Laserbolt checking it, big yes on candy corn. Rick saying hard nay on the candy corn. It's a hot button topic. So Joseph, it sounds like you and I are in the yay.
Oh, I'm very much in the yay. Yeah, I mean, you did the little nibble the little weirdos and get the slightly different flavors.
Yes,
love it. Now, I have to ask both of you. I might have asked before. I'm to see if anybody in the chat had these. So I think the company is Brock's that makes the candy corn.
yes.
But when I was a teen and a young adult in Minnesota, Brock's would also make a bag of, it was the same kind of candy, but they had different shapes. There was like a moon. There was like an autumn kettle. I think there was a witch. There was the orange pumpkin, and it was like all these different ones mixed together, and they actually did have different flavors, and I cannot for the life of me find them, and I need some validation that I didn't fantasize them. They actually existed.
So help Joseph out in chat, live chat. Please help him find
I've
this
never
candy.
had that. I've had the pumpkins, but I've never seen the other characters that you speak of.
Yeah, and you can still find the pumpkins, and those are fun
Yeah,
too, because you can
yeah.
bite the green off, and then anyway.
Right.
Well, yeah, you and I eat candy corn the same way. I love that. I'm going to go and nibble all the white tips off. I'm going to go and nibble up all the oranges. Yeah. Robin is there with you. Robin says, so yes,
Okay.
I remember the shaped candies.
Oh,
You're not alone. You're not
Okay,
alone.
good. Okay,
And
the
Robin
shaped candies.
Robin's on Team Candy Corn. So Robin, welcome to the party, pal. This is great. We're glad to have you here. Man, I don't know, Jen. I've noticed you haven't registered an answer.
yeah. I'm team. If it's there, I may eat it, and there's nothing else to eat. That's the only reason why I'll eat it. If it's at a party or out somewhere, I would never buy it. And I will say that there is something to be said about this time of year. The candy corn tastes fresher, if that's possible, right? Because any other time of year, it just tastes stale and hard. It's not good. But
Do you think?
Yeah.
Is that because they make them in September for October, and then the rest they don't make them? They just show up on shelves the rest of the year.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, but how fresh can candy really be, right? I mean, well, you're right about the Snickers thing. I have had one of those, or those candy bars where they turn white.
Yeah.
It's not good.
There's a gas station in Simi Valley I can point you to, and we got some Tootsie Roll questions, and we're going to get in here. But this is Matthew McDonald checking in from Scotland. Says, never had it. Don't even know what it is even in. Candy corn, that is. This is similar to like when I introduced Peeps to Maud Garrett one time. She was like, what are you talking about? And they don't have that in Australia. And then she promptly almost threw them all up immediately. Yeah, I don't know. Is candy corn exclusive to these United States and maybe Canada? I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
maybe.
like Scotland would love candy corn. That's
Why?
maybe well, just because it is it's a little different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, people I don't want to make any jokes about haggis. Every culture has different food. We're talking about something called Scandinavian swimmers. I live in a glass house. Not making fun of haggis, but there's to me a sense of adventure and why not, and let's discover. And you know, having mostly visited Edinburgh, don't claim to be any expert, but like the writers from Edinburgh always kind of go on about this is a town built on, you know, just darkness and madness and and like that's a town that likes some candy corn.
Yeah, darkness and madness and wax. Can we? I really do want to get to Scotland. Bummed I didn't have time on that trip in April, but is it possible to smuggle them into the country? Is it like bringing frogs and ferrets into lands where they're not allowed? Can that be done?
I'm gonna climb up to the top of Arthur's seat and plant candy corn and see if they grow.
And that's why they called him Kenny Candy Corn. He came to the village and handed it out to everyone. Yeah, there we go. That's our controversial big topic there. Candy corn. Yeah, I like it.
Get on another big candy question here while we're on the topic that we should grab here. Thank you, Kyle Beckworth, for the nice super chat. Kyle says, "Happy Friday. It was great to see Ken at the Comedy Club in New York City. It was a great time and hilarious. What's the most underrated candy or candy bar? It's whatchamacallit for me."
Great to see you, Kyle. Yeah, I remember the promo picture there you took there. You showed me, actually, I think. Yeah, Kyle was great. Thanks for coming out and supporting us. My whatchamacallits are solid. I love them, but I'm gonna go with $100 grand. I don't think it's discussed much in the candy circles.
I've never had a whatchamacallit. Does it have nuts?
No.
Caramel?
How would you, Joseph? You've had a whatchamacallit, right? You're
Oh yeah,
right?
They are
wafery.
They are dense wafers, like many wafers got together.
Yeah, it's like a Kit Kat gone amok.
Yeah. They're like hearty Kit Kats. But there's something that's dense. They're packed solid. They're meaty little guys. They don't taste like meat.
Yeah, that's
chunky.
They're chunky chonkster candy bars, and
they're chonkster. Yeah,
they're square, and then sometimes it can be a little hard to bite because it's that wafer thing. I'm clearly a messy eater. I don't want to go into Mr. Toad's Wild Ride after whatchamacallit. Like it's a explosion of chocolate goodness all over my table.
Yeah, and the chocolate is a good thick layer of chocolate, I think. And I think there's a surprise in it of like wafers, thin, easy to eat, right? Wrong. We're strong and hearty.
Yeah. Jen, you got to swing out to a nearby 7-Eleven and pick up a whatchamacallit.
Yeah, it sounds like something from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that's underrated. I would have said that maybe the Crackle Bar, only because I find that I can find those more often. Like they're left behind, and I'm like, ooh, someone doesn't know how delicious this is.
I think it could be, but Crackle might be like when Sarah McLachlan suddenly got really famous in Lilith Fair, and I was like, no, that's my Canadian chanteuse that only I really know about. Like it Crackle could be on the rise.
That's true.
100 grand, says Jay from Nowhere, is our trick and treat mixed bag and literally called the most underrated candy bar by far.
Yeah. 100 grand is in the bag where we got a lot of Crackle. 100 grand is the one where we got ripped off. They're like 400 grand. And they're really good. But the other thing in that bag, which I will vote for as underrated, is Baby Ruth.
Okay.
Baby Ruth has got, chocolate and nuts and caramel, but there's some sort of, I'm going to say mystery flavor because it's a mystery to me. I'm sure I could Google it, but there's just, it's just like, there's a slight different, surprising taste to the nougat, and I love it. Or caramel or whatever it is. I should Google it. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All of the above, I think. Yeah, that's good. lot of people, a lot of great chats, conversation, not even just questions. You guys are having a fun conversation in here. I'm trying to pull some of it because there's some great stuff. Elias talking about Sour Patch Kids, which are popular in our house. I never liked them, but Grace loves Sour Patch Kids, Sour Patchies as she calls them, and we get like the peach flavored and the blueberry ones and the watermelon ones. Very popular in the house.
Wait, what happened to his friend, the person's insides?
What?
What happened?
I didn't read the rest of the sentence. Don't be like my friend who bought a bag of citric acid to recreate the taste and ended up melting his insides. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. I missed that.
Oh my gosh.
Elias, please update us on your friend's health and well-being. And do we need to start a GoFundMe? What's going on there?
It sounds like a TikTok challenge gone wrong, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
It's focus on the citrus, not the acid, I guess.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. Mike Fink late to the party, but Reese's Cups for the win. I agree with that. Love some Reese's Pieces. Just Reese's as a flavor overall. Yeah. But Babe Ruth, I haven't had a Babe Ruth in a while. I have to reacquaint myself. I have a lot of homework on candy today.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta you walk to your Target and just go nuts in the aisle.
We got a couple back-to-back questions. Harrison and Laserbolt, not questions but comments about the Kinder Bueno. Is it considered a candy bar? They are my favorite. Harrison asked, "Does that do Kinder Bueno count as underrated?" I'm familiar with Kinder, and I know sometimes certain versions of them are like illegal over here, right?
Right. Right. They're like the egg, right? The little chocolate.
Yeah.
What's a Kinder Bueno?
Kinder Bueno is a crispy, creamy chocolate bar, a unique smooth milk chocolate bar with an amazing combination of chocolate, crispy wafer, and creamy hazelnut filling. Yeah.
There you go.
That looks good.
Yeah, I want that.
Wow.
I want to go to there. Yeah.
I will trade someone all of the Butterfingers I got, which I like fine, but they gave us a lot. I would trade some Butterfingers for a Kinder Bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how they're packaged, it looks like really fancy, fancy candy.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's changed or anything. Yeah, because they had the prizes in the egg ones, and back when I was at Defy, and we had to order some for a video, and like I had to like order them through like eBay. I couldn't actually get them, and it was a yeah.
Oh, we got an answer.
Okay.
Perforated esophagus. He's okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if people are spending much time on old Blue Sky there or new Blue Sky there, but it's still so reply forward where you'll just see somebody's reply without any context. In some of these comments, answers to our questions have that Blue Sky vibe. You'll just be scrolling along and just see perforated esophagus.
Jared points out that sounds worse than eating Tide Pods. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
that's about right.
Oof.
Yeah, don't make your own candy unless you're a chocolatier. Don't make your own candy.
Jared says, "Don't drink acid, kids. Official medical opinion from a real family doctor."
That's perfect. That's perfect. There we go. We got some great candy stuff coming in here. I want to get to all of it here. We got some big ones. I wanted to highlight this one. It's a vote from Will McLean on just candy. The strawberry candies wrapped in those strawberry wrappers are the best. I'm a big fan of those. I love chocolate, but I do love the sweet side of things. And as I've talked about with donuts, if you got like a little filling inside, and those often have like a fruity filling, I'm there. I will absolutely put that strawberry in my mouth and suck hard. So there you go.
Those are the type of candy where it's like, I'm out and about. I'm at an appointment. I'm at not at the doctor's office, but I'm out and about at an appointment. Someone has it. The reception, the receptionist has it, right? A bowl of it, and I'll get it. Just, but I love Jolly Ranchers. Now that top tier.
Love all this candy. We got some. I'm gonna get. You see anything jump out to you, Joseph? I'm trying to find one I lost here. There's a big one.
A big one, huh?
A big one. A big one.
Big one. Well, we got a nice one from our friend Ken Plume here.
Yeah.
Who says, "What's your dream pick a mix candy mix?" Is that a turn of phrase or is that an official thing that I don't know? A pick a mix.
I looked it up because because with Plume, you never know. He'd be like, "Oh, you haven't had a Razzle Dazzle," and it's some candy he orders from outside London, and you're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So I look, no, pick a make like if you just go to like a candy shop, a sweet shop, and you do the scoops.
The scoops.
Unless I'm wrong, Ken. Because I do love doing that.
What the internet
yeah.
says is bulk confectionary.
Yes,
that's the fancy term for it.
Yeah, bulk confectionary is a WWE wrestler, I think, as well. So that works. Yes, there's a spot in Universal City Walk, a big candy sweet shop.
Yes,
and that's the last time I've really done that. So yeah, I go. It depends on the mood, right? If it's a squishy snack day, if it's gummies, I'll stay in that genre. I don't think you want to mix them. It's a 2-bag day, maybe. But I think Rick Villanueva said it earlier. I'm a big fan of Whoppers or Whopper adjacent candies too. So if I'm going to like a pick a mix, I get a lot of that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. This is the first thing that I feel super strongly about. I dislike Whoppers. I'm not trying to change your mind or tell you you're wrong for Whoppers. But Whoppers, the flavors, okay, a little, I don't know, kind of sour, milky to me. I don't know, but
you're wrong.
It's the sensation.
Yeah,
a Whopper meeting my teeth is like fingernails on a chalkboard in my mouth. Do you not experience that, Ken?
After about 15 Whoppers, I get a burning sensation in my throat.
Oh,
it's not even, it's like not quite heartburn, but it might be a perforated esophagus.
Okay.
And I stop. That's when I know I have to stop with the Whoppers. So everything you're kind of experiencing and describing, I understand. It's just one of those things I push past the pain and I go to the joy.
Okay. Well, I'll try them again. I'll give them another try.
Yeah.
Maybe, I might have some bias against them because I think sometimes they were like the only thing that I could get at the candy store or whatever, or at the theater. Like I think it was the theater. Like the theater didn't have many options. It was probably my mom wanted Whoppers. And so it'd be like, I'm not going to get a shot like this again for a long time. I'm at a movie and I get movie candy. Yeah. And I'm being talked into putting these things in my mouth.
Yeah. Still Bill's on your side. Yeah, okay. You finally name my issue with Whoppers. And here we go. And Plume follows it up. And this is malt teasers or Whoppers done right. The hell's a malt teaser?
Because that's what's inside the Whopper, right? Like the malt
collector's candy that he finds somewhere on eBay or something. I don't know. He's gonna be so mad at me on Fortnite later.
Robin has some advice on how to handle it. With Whoppers, bite just enough to pierce the chocolate shell, then just let them melt in your mouth. Much better. There we go. Practical solutions. Practical problems.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I am an annoying kid. So if you give me like Jell-O, I do like Jell-O. I don't have it often. I'm not old enough yet, I guess. But I'll take the Jell-O and I'll swish it in my mouth until it becomes liquid again. And I just drink it. With the Whopper, I'll do exactly what Robin's talking about, where I'm just over there in the corner going, and I melt it all down. You don't want to eat Whoppers around me.
Mad
it's like a hunter-gatherer instinct. Yeah. Like you need to do something with it. You can't just consume it, right?
Break it down.
Yeah. I have that with Raisinets.
What do you?
I like to take off the chocolate part of it and then get to the raisin part. Oh,
yeah,
that was my movie candy as a kid.
Raisinets are good.
Yeah.
Ike and Mike's or Mike and Ike's I don't like.
No,
that kind of stuff. Good and Plenty is a weird thing, but
Good
and Plenty was fine. It was a sad lesser sibling to Skittles in my opinion, my child opinion. The Junior Mints, I like those for the movies.
Oh, you mean the ones that have the little like beads on them?
No, the mints.
No, they're just little mints with chocolate on them.
Oh, that's okay. I hate those. The ones that have the white little balls on them. Do you know those candies?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're chocolate, but with white little balls.
With white little like sugar balls on there.
It's horrible. Horrible.
I'm afraid to Google that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
It's also my dance name, but you'll find it on there. You'll get there eventually. I enjoy
chocolate with white balls.
Snow caps. Jay and Rick are saying snow caps. Yeah.
Snow caps. I hate those. There was this medicine I used to have to take when I was a kid. It was called Slowbid, I think it was. And it was literally the shape of those white little balls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
that texture reminded me of that medicine I used to have to take.
Yeah.
So, bleh.
Yeah.
But Junior Mints, I just absolutely love Junior Mints.
Junior Mints are good.
And much like my father before me, we finish all of our food before the trailers even start if we're going to motion pictures. So I get that whole box, and you just see me just putting them all down, and and I don't mix them into popcorn. I don't mind chocolate and popcorn, but I don't need it. That's an adventure I don't always take.
Sweet and
understandable.
savory.
To answer Ken's actual question, a pick and mix thing for me. A bulk confectionary. I'd be down with some gummy, whatever's the weirdest thing they got. I like the bears, but if they had like gummy squirrels, half the joy of the gummy is what shape are you eating for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm a cherry fiend. So any cherry flavored thing that will not break my jaw or teeth, as a lot of bulk confectionery seems designed to do.
You big fan of the chocolate cherry cordials then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a Christmas one for me.
Yeah,
Love
that is super. We celebrate if we can get in on the Trader Joe's liqueur chocolate cherry liqueur nice and early, man. And there's no elegant way to handle those. You bite into it, and sorry, folks, cherry explodes in your mouth. Great.
It's every time I think about eating a cherry cordial, I just think of this, like where you're doing that. Yeah, it's like it's all here. Yeah,
it's the sorry for the it's the Lord of the Rings tomato shot, but with cherry.
It's John Noble. Sing me a song.
Oh my god.
We got more things on the way here, but I know it's Rick. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Aw,
Thank you, Rick. And I'm gonna picture a gonk running away.
Thanks for that. And then I know it's late over in Scotland, but Matthew McDonald's comes back and says, Halloween just taken off in our house. Question for Jen: how many sweets candy is appropriate to store for giving out? 5, 10,000. How many is it for him to eat? If you're setting up for the trick or treating, Jen, what's your strategy here? What's appropriate?
We don't have that many trick-or-treaters here, so I just got one of those big bags from Target. But if we were to have a lot of trick-or-treaters, I would get like 2, maybe even 3 bags, and I'd like to offer them a variety. So maybe like the chocolate ones, and then also the sour Skittle ones as well.
Yeah.
And then I save a little bit for myself.
Ooh.
If I don't already break into it early, which I've been good this year, but normally I break into it early. And then my kids, they give out so much candy, and they get so much freaking candy. So I have to steal some of theirs.
Just to be a good parent. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't eat all that.
Yeah.
That's good.
They know all my hiding spots, and they're too tall now. They can reach it.
Oh, that's That's nice. Sam has this. Yeah, as far I'm wondering this because again, as with my problem this year of trying to keep people away from my house, is how much candy buckets should I put out? I don't know. And we're running out of time. The shelves are starting to get empty of that candy. So.
There's been replaced by Christmas stuff at Target. I kid you not. I just went yesterday. Christmas trees were up. I was like, what?
Got to get in on that there, huh?
Yeah.
Not a candy question here, but I want to make sure we get to this from Sam. Nice meeting you in Portland, Joseph. Sorry, I got nervous. The night my door was great, and Ken, you were awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. A lot of fun. And there's a great screenshot I keep meaning to grab to when it's appropriate to share with the world that Joseph got a great shot of me eating candy. But pitch it to you, Joseph. That's a great experience you had up there in Portland.
Yeah, it was really, really wonderful. Did a couple of showings of the short horror film that I worked on that many people helped me with, but I put a lot into it, wrote it, directed, acted in it, edited it, wrote the music, did a lot. But it was so great to see it with a big audience on the big screen in Portland. Ken had I've seen it now with audiences twice. I'm going to get to see it again a couple more times in the next few months with audiences. But it's really fun to see what lines are. It's a little mood and audience dependent, and what lines are like, oh yeah, that's going to land every time. And Ken has two beats that are like, that's going to land every time. So that was really, really fun to experience. Really fun to experience. And Sam did come up and say hello, and it was wonderful to chat with you, Sam. So thank you very, very much for being there and for saying hello.
Wonderful. I mean, I saw you were going to Mobile, Alabama, and I was tempted to hop on a flight out there. I'd love to go out there.
That'd be so cool if you did.
Yeah.
One of these days.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know as more things come up.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah, and no, you're not nervous at all. You just come up. Joseph is a man. He's just a man who likes chocolate cherry cordials.
I am just a man.
Man with choice.
Cherry exploding from my mouth.
I love that. Going back to Whoppers, I will highlight Ken's advice here. You can also fix Whoppers by dropping a handful in your hot chocolate or coffee and let it dissolve. That's good advice too.
I like that.
I like that as well. Good stuff. I'll clear those questions and we can go to another one here. Thank you, Sam, for that one.
Yeah. We got this here from 8984M. Thank you for the kind super chat. Says, is someone who's a connoisseur of the dank arts. What is the stickiest or nastiest to other people's food that you enjoy? For me, I love stinky tofu.
A lot of tofu in our house. Not a lot of stinky tofu. Wow.
That's a great question.
What's stinky food? The only one I get, because it's been banned from my house, is like a shrimp linguine kind of pasta. I love shrimp. It's one of the only things that maybe I'm gonna say, maybe I shouldn't, but then I just if you got shrimp cocktail at your party, I'll finish it for you. But it's that. It's been banned from my house.
Yeah, I get that. I think that I know many people from experience from talking about it are on my side, but I've gotten some pretty bad pushback on some of the lesser frozen pizzas that I've enjoyed over the years.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're talking Tombstone and below. Tombstone and like $3 gas station only exists regionally.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, my friend and I that did a lot of shows together over the years. We did a show one night, and then we were going over to a third friend's house to watch a movie with him. And we wanted to celebrate our show, so we stopped and got like just a road pizza, frozen pizza. And he was just like, "What are you doing? What happened? We could order a real pizza. I'm sorry." And we were both like, "This was our choice. we wanted this.
We wanted this."
And he was like, "But in my house, why are you?" He was a pizza driver at the time. He's like, "I'm a professional pizza driver. I carry a heating bag at all times to keep good pizza fresh. And you bring this into my home?
Heating bag.
You put this in my oven?" Like,
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a Scorsese scene.
Bring this in my home.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
I like a lot of stinky, nasty. Like I love anchovies. I love sardines.
Really?
I love menudo.
Okay.
And the thing that always grosses people out about the menudo is the tripe. And I used to be a vegetarian, but I don't know if I didn't know when I was little. I didn't really know what the tripe was. And I just like, it's chewy. I don't know. But that one always grosses people out. But I love it. That's really good.
Why does it gross people out?
The tripe?
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah.
Made with cow stomach.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like yeah. It's the texture. It's really chewy and like it looks like it has like little holes in it. It's really
it's just a whole lot of It's
a whole lot of
that one dies on the package for me when you're like, "What's in this?" Yeah, I'm good. 894. I love some stinky cheeses.
Yes.
Stinky cheese.
Sauerkraut and ring bologna.
Oh, yes.
A bologna.
Yes.
Lots of unfair hate for sauerkraut.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not personally a fan, but I've witnessed many people judging my wife.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Thank
Matthew
you,
McDonald here
Aw.
says, "Thanks for reading out some of my ramblings tonight, team. Early start, so I have to split. Thank you, Matthew, for always being around and having great, interesting things to say and good profile picture."
Yeah,
Yes.
I looked down at the profile picture when I have that shirt. No, that's my shirt. I'm the only one that owns that shirt. Yes, yes, it was always it was nice to talk to Matthew up in the pub at the Harrison Pub. I love that. We got some blue sky on some out of context responses here. Pork intestines, anyone?
If they're crunchy, yes.
Crunchy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also from 8984M back at 3:06 p.m. No, I have no idea what we said to garner that. No.
Beautiful, beautiful. This one was from really early in the day here. Still Bill just joined. Did you all color coordinate today? Are we? I mean, we're just all wearing our normal. I mean, for Justin and I, being in black shirts or jackets or capes is relatively normal. I don't know about you, Jen.
I had every intention of wearing my Furby costume, but I've been working on this for so long and it still wasn't finished. And then I was like, well, Joseph and Ken always wear black. I'm gonna wear black too. So I did kind of
Oh,
there you
decide to
go.
coordinate
Okay.
with you guys. Plus,
Very
it's
good.
I went a little
October.
rogue because my smoky shirt is dark charcoal, not a full black. So
Right,
yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I'm really the color today.
I love that. Sometimes I want to change it up again. I have some bright pink shirts and some greens and all that. The green brings out my eyes. But
you got the white pants that you wear sometimes, right?
yes. I think we're past the date, right? I passed Labor Day. Yeah, but I'll break those rules. Break those rules. Yeah. I wore it. I wore it last time. I really wore the white jeans with the white jacket and a black shirt was in San Diego last year for the Mark Ellis show. And a lady came up to me after the show and she'd been, having some fun with beverages. And she just goes, she walks to me, she goes, "I love your skin." I'm like, "Oh, great. Thank you. I have a skin care routine." She goes, "I love your jacket." Great. She goes, "I hate those pants." I was like, "Okay, maybe we'll put them on ice for a little bit."
I love your skin. What?
Look, I'll tell you what. I put a lot of work into my skincare routine. Basically, I just take that grainy stuff and wash my face with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
exfoliant.
I'm a little concerned about this, where she complimented your skin.
Yeah.
She criticized your pants.
Yeah.
You excised the pants. If this same lady comes back with this time, "I love your pants, but your skin's got to go," what are you gonna do?
I'll stop putting on my potions and creams. Stop doing that. Yeah.
Exactly.
But it puts the lotion on the skin. Yeah.
Exactly.
It wasn't just that she complimented my skin. She did the whole
She touched your face?
Yeah,
What?
it was Grace was right next to me. She didn't punch her, but it was
My gosh.
yeah, but it ended up with the jeans being on ice for a little bit. So
Okay, next time, see if that lady comes back and put the lotion on the pants. See if she likes it then.
On the pants.
It puts the lotion on the
Get your questions in, everybody. We're here for a little bit more. We got some candy ones. I do want to get some spooky ones here, but we'll answer candy questions all day. We have a big one, but also this is big close to my heart from Jay from Nowhere. We used to pose question at Blockbusters: does Twix 4-pack constitute 4 candy bars or 2? The answer is 1. That's my favorite thing to get at 7-Eleven. Or if I'm at a grocery store and I'm feeling like, I need some food on the way home, even though I might have purchased my dinner, I get a 4-pack Twix and it's done before I pull out onto the street. It's 1 candy bar.
Yeah, I think, a 4-pack is so the standard is a 2-pack, and they try to have the save one for later, or save one for a friend, give one to a friend, whatever. Whatever. It's the I bet if you waited, it'd be two Twix would weigh less than certainly a whatchamacallit. hefty,
True.
chunky chunks.
Yeah. Yeah.
4-pack. It's one package. It's one candy bar.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it's one candy bar broken into 4 pieces for you.
Yep.
Right.
That's what I said.
It's like
They're
a
doing
Kit
some of the
Kat.
chewing. Yeah.
Yes.
Kit Kat
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Comes in
king
one
size Kit
package.
Kat. Oh, I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, Jen, as an M&M fan, as it seems, both maybe the artist and the candy, but talking about the candy, what's your take on like some of the flavors that have been introduced over the last 5 to 10 years? Like
Oh, isn't there like a
I love
green
the mint
tea?
ones. I
Oh,
love
the
yeah,
mint ones.
but there's the mint M&Ms I love.
Mint, I could get. Yes, that's good. I like that. That makes sense. But I don't know other flavors. I like. I'm a purist. I like things simple.
Yeah, I mean, there's the peanut butter ones. There's
No.
I can look up some more. I like them all because I do love M&Ms, but when they started really kind of putting in the flavors,
There's no need.
I was there for it. I was there for it.
Oh, you were there for. Oh,
I loved
well.
it. Yeah, there's the peanut butter mini, the peanut butter chocolate. I'm trying to get a list.
Is there like a sriracha yet?
There needs to be. Caramel. I like a caramel one.
That could be good.
Pretzel,
That could
the
be good.
pretzel, the dark chocolate, the crunchy cookie. There's a cold brew one. I didn't know. that. Fudge brownie.
It's just like a marketing
Campfire s'mores. It is a pretzel ones I've had. I like pretzels. Almond mix. Get that hellish thing out of my mind.
I think more candy bars should experiment with flavors. I think Twix. I love Twix, but I think they should experiment with more flavors. The orange Kit Kats that you get, particularly in the UK, phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, Kit Kat experimenting is okay.
Yeah.
M&Ms, they don't need to, but I'll try it.
Okay.
Can't mess with a classic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got the big Patreon field trip goal still out there. We're very close to hitting the mark of us going to Farmers Barton Grove and trying our favorite desserts. But maybe after that, the field trip is to go to gas stations around LA and get Jed a bunch of different flavors of M&Ms.
Well, in one of the biggest decisions when we get to do this field trip is so. There are 3 desserts at the location. Donuts for Ken at Bob's Donuts, which I'm all on board with. Cherry pie at Dupar's was my contribution. And then Jen, you had the cheesecake, but the special kind of cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory. What was it?
Snickers cheesecake.
The Snickers cheesecake.
Right.
Yes.
The big question is going to be the order in which we sample them. Do we start with the cheesecake so we have a blank palate?
No.
Or do we build up to this 3rd act climax that is Snickers cheesecake?
I have thoughts.
Yeah.
To me, the donut is obviously it's my favorite thing there, but it's a direct plain taste, right? It's a buttermilk glazed donut, cake batter. So that
Beautiful.
starts it off, opens up the palate. Then the Snickers is kind of the second act where things could get dark. But that third, the cherry is kind of it will wash it all down.
You're right. It's a sort of dessert of desserts.
Of dessert.
There's like a lightness and a freshness, perhaps even a tartness that it could provide.
It's
Yeah, I
basically
like
healthy.
that.
It's fruit.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We
We
like
wanna
that
settle that.
order.
Interesting. All
So
right.
you can support us at patreon.com/ForceCenter and make our field trip dream a reality. We're very close to hitting that goal. And then we'll hit gas stations and collect things. Cool.
There's a football question.
Yeah, we got to go to this one from Jared, who's shared important medical opinions with us, or not opinions, facts. And thank you, Jared, for the kind super chat. Jared says, football question for Ken. Thoughts on the Miami Dolphins' hot start? Is their torrid offense pace sustainable? Is this the year they win the AFC East? Bonus World Series question: Rangers or D-backs? I don't want to, put Jared's question off too much, but what D-backs?
Yeah, the Diamondbacks, but yes, D-backs.
Got it.
It's the nickname, but yeah, the Arizona D-bags could work as well. I'll answer the World Series question. I'm rooting for the Rangers because they've yet to win the World Series. The Diamondbacks beat my Yankees in 2001, so they've had their chance, and I like the team. But the Rangers are managed by Bruce Bochy, who's a very nice, genial old man who came out of retirement. And he has led 2 other teams to the World Series before. And it's just kind of like it's a good, like, celebrate those who are considered to be out of the age range. You know what I mean? Like, the old guy left the grandkids and said, I'm going to go manage this team. And they coaxed him back and they got him back to the World Series. And the franchise has never won a title. So that would be a good story for me. Quick football thoughts. Yeah, so I'm a big football fan, but I had not paid attention for literally 20 years. I stopped caring because my favorite player retired and my team, the Miami Dolphins, just they've teased me every year. This is the year, new coach, this, that, and then they just bleep the bed every year. So I just kind of stopped. I pulled away from the sports world for a lot of other reasons, but I'm kind of getting back into sports in a way that I didn't expect. And one of the reasons is the Dolphins are actually really good right now. They're 5-2. They just lost to Hal Lublin's Eagles, but I think it was a good loss because they got humbled. And I think a young team on the rise needs to get humbled to remind themselves who they can be when their ego's in check. So I think this is the year they're going to win the AFC East. I don't know if they'll go to the Super Bowl, but it's just also fun to reconnect. Sunday mornings, I sit down and watch football. I haven't done that for 10 years when my roommate would do that every day and throw things and break things in the house because he was a Steeler fan who cared too much. So yeah, there you go. Good question, Jared.
I support the Miami Dolphins. I looked them up to confirm my memory. I like their teal color that reminds me of mid-century modern furniture I saw in Palm Springs that I want to buy.
Yes. Yes. I don't think anyone's ever made the Palm Springs kind of connection to the Dolphin color scheme. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
right
Miami
there.
Vice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just remember Dan Marino, right? He was a Miami
Dan Marino.
Dolphin.
That was my guy. When he retired in 99, it just the lights went out in my heart.
Ken, let me you're coming back to the sport. So you could start fresh with favorites, right? But is your current rooting for the Miami Dolphins, is that out of legacy? You picked this team a long time ago and you want to stay with them, or is it analysis of this team is making great decisions, have great people?
No, it's a legacy. It's I started rooting for them in late 1984 into 85. They got in the Super Bowl against the San Francisco 49ers. And I, grew up about 3-4 hours south of San Francisco. So everyone in my school was a 49er fan. And I just decided, well, I'm going to root for the other team because that's a great way to go through life. Just be opposite. And they lost. And I should have known right there because no one would have cared if I changed. But I liked them. And a friend of mine during that era, late 80s, early 90s, was from Miami and a big fan. And we'd watch the games together. And to this day, I've never set foot in Miami. It's the weirdest thing. Been to Florida, been to Orlando, never set foot in Miami. It's not about the region, just the team. And yeah, it is a weird sickness. It's a weird sickness with some sports fans. Like, it's just your team and you root for the laundry, not the names on the back sometimes. And sometimes it's the other way around. You might follow your favorite player. So I've never thought about changing. I like teams like the Detroit Lions. I like some other teams along the way. But yeah, it's you stick with it. I don't know why, but you do.
Yeah, Neil Hanstock says you can't change your sports team. Jay from Nowhere says, to answer Joseph, we cheer for laundry. If I knew there was a term for it, I would have been in.
And Laser Bolt's a liar. One of my favorite players was Barry Sanders, who was on the Lions for years. Not only just one of the most talented athletes to play, but it was like he'd score and politely, quietly hand the ball to the referee. And I liked that. I liked the
I'm not questioning or challenging this. I love this. This is great, and I love getting the insights. But it's fascinating to me because whenever I hear people talk about sports, it is almost always deep analysis of plays, stats. It sounds so pragmatic. It sounds so, and I know fantasy football, you can be pragmatic, and that's a different thing. I get that. But just talking about, who's making a good decision, who's going to make a good decision. It's fascinating to me that then people are like, I'm at 12. I'm just going to hook my fate to this team. Stats be damned.
Yep.
And it's fascinating to me. There's absolutely no criticism here. It's just
Yeah.
fascinating to me.
No, because especially, modern sports where so much of the statistics have made the game into a science, for better or worse. I think there's good things and bad things about it. But at the end of the day, on a Sunday morning, you're like, and then I rub this pillow and my team wins. And, it's absolutely, yeah. I think, and there's Jay from Nowhere's a Cub fan, says you stick with your team through all the bad times because if they win, they do. It's the most magical thing. Cubs fan. I think the heartbreak is part of the fun of being a sports fan. We just don't care to admit it. Just that, and again, I did leave sports fandom for a while. Just there's like any fandoms, there's a lot of things I don't love about it. After a while, I just didn't care as much, and I just was like, let me just watch the games. I don't care what I need. I stopped listening to sports talk radio, all that kind of stuff. And I'm still in that area, but yeah, I think the pain hurts so good. And then it makes the wins that much better.
That's true.
A lot of great thoughts here on as people were joking, our sudden actual SportsCenter episode.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been fun.
The only acceptable reasons, says Jared, to drop your sports team are relocation or serious malfeasance. You don't get to change your sports team because of adversity. Suffering builds character.
Yeah, no, and this is the Joseph and I over the years have had, I think, not in depth, but have done the competition and winning and this, and I really agree with some of your thoughts, Joseph, on how society, our American society in particular, is this focus on winning that I think we forget the journey. That the journey is the bigger point, and I think there's some truth to that, and a lot of that with the suffering. The suffering. Yeah. When I was on baseball side, and I said we don't need to talk sports all the time here for those who aren't interested, but I'm a New York Yankee fan, and they are the most winning franchise in all of sports history. I didn't know that when I started rooting for them. I played on the Yankees at my school softball team, and I was like, all right, I'll start rooting for the Yankees. And I didn't know, and that was a period of time, about '84. They sucked for years, and by 1990 they were the worst team in baseball, and I stuck with them. And then in 1996 they won, and when Charlie Hayes caught that fly ball off of Mark Lemke's bat against Landa, I cried, I bawled. It was like I was there for the journey, and that was part of the joy. And then they won the 4 out of the 5 World Series. And by the 4th victory, I was like, cool, what am I doing tomorrow? Like the joy kind of dissipated.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah. And the competition thing is like, I think sports are great because they fill that niche. And for me, I get concerned when everything becomes competition. I think 89, 84 M series had been a Lakers fan for over 15 years after 7 years of missing the playoffs. In 2020 championship felt like nothing else, especially during the pandemic. Yeah, I can imagine during the pandemic. But I think, you know what, I'll just decide right here in this live chat. I'm going to be a Lakers fan because they have followed my journey from Minnesota to Los Angeles. And one of the funniest name changes, because when I was growing up, it was when the Lakers were the Lakers. My God, every human on the planet knew about them, right? And then when somebody was like, hate them because they left, like, what are you talking about? Like,
that's amazing.
How many lakes do we have? How many lakes does Los Angeles have? Was angrily yelled at me. Like, oh, yeah, so, got it.
I love the Lakers. You're welcome. You're welcome.
No,
people
thank you.
say, oh, you're just jumping on the bandwagon. No, all are welcome here.
Yeah. How, Jen? I know you enjoy some sports there. How passionate do you get over these sports at home?
I get really invested with basketball, really invested, but I have a hard time through the suffering because if I know that if they're starting to lose at halftime, my husband's like, there's a lot of time left. It's fine. I'm like, no, I can't watch. I get too emotionally invested. We have a friend who has been a Kansas City Chiefs fan for years. And I used to feel so bad for him. And now he's having his moment, especially now with Taylor. And it's just like, I'm happy for him because he's been so emotionally invested all these years. So, yeah.
In Kansas City or Taylor Swift? Just,
Kansas City.
The Taylor thing is great and fascinating, and I love it. The ratings have been going up, right? And
Yeah.
I hope somebody as magnetic and charming as Taylor starts dating like some small theater people. So
Well, yeah.
theater's suffering in America. They need the bump.
His jersey sales went up like 400% that first week.
Wow.
And he was already a popular player. So yeah,
Wow.
you're right. Like Taylor, have you ever listened to OtherCenter? You know, just, you don't even have to date us. You can just tell people about it, you know?
You're a
And,
bestie. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So that's great.
Amazing.
Aaron Parisian, our author friend from the Great White North, is not a huge football fan. I can watch it, but I prefer hockey. But I do have a quarterback in an upcoming book. Yeah, because
Oh,
Aaron, you know, the quarterback's like the go-to, you know, big man on campus there, for better or worse. And sometimes it's definitely worse, but I love that there. Good stuff. Well, there you go. The name was always built around a play on SportsCenter, but here we are, truly ForceCenter.
It was. And Jared's brought us on this journey, so I'll wrap up here with his thoughts. Competition culture can be toxic, but at their best, sports are amazing. And it really is all about the journey in the end. It sounds corny, but it's true. That is great. Thank you, Jared.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Being able to be a good loser. I'm a sore loser. And it's probably because I never played sports. Probably.
Well,
that's what I always said.
I don't know what other people's excuses are. They've definitely played sports. They've definitely gone. Yeah, good stuff. Good questions. John Webster Film is here as well. Thank you, John, for checking on in here. Cool. We got one more candy one. We got a horror film one I want to get to. Where do you want to go next here, friends?
Should we end on the candy?
Yeah, that's a big one, right?
Yes. Let's grab some other things. The Sabersmith asked way back with a great picture. What was the first horror movie you saw? Jennifer, do you remember your first horror movie?
Oh my gosh, I don't watch any of them. I haven't watched any of them. Jaws would not be a horror movie, but that was a horror movie for me. I remember Child's Play. I never saw it, but I remember my cousin had a doll and he used to like turn out the lights in the hallway and he'd bring the doll. It was terrifying. I remember Poltergeist because didn't a lot of people die on that film? And I remember thinking it was like so tragic that I think the little girl got sick or something.
Yeah,
was that right?
Yeah, they say it was cursed. They say it was cursed.
So that made me say, well, I'm never gonna watch those horror movies because you know that could happen to me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can't think of any others though.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the first one that I truly saw because
right.
Yeah, we didn't have a VHS until I was much older, and I lived with Freddy and Jason and the Children in the Corn and all those in my imagination from what other kids said. Probably I'm gonna bet actually that the first horror movie I saw was at the library. King Kong is usually slotted in with the horror films. So I saw King Kong at the library. I think I also saw Creature from the Black Lagoon at the library, which I loved. So I got introduced to that kind of classic horror. Then when I was a kid in the 80s, they were so scary because they were just in my imagination. And I thought I didn't like horror movies because I believed a lot of the stereotypes about them. And then I saw Scream and I was like, this is amazing. This isn't just gore and objectification, which was kind of the bias that I had been exposed to, which I think, lesser knockoff movies, you can accuse some of them of that. But Scream changed everything for me. I wouldn't be working on horror projects now if it wasn't for Scream.
Awesome. I didn't know that. That's great. Jen, you're searching your brain. There's some great answers in chat here. It just, Wizard. I like the non horror scary movies that actually end up being scary. Mulleran putting his fist into someone's heart, or chest to pull his heart, scared me, as we talked about before. I don't remember this. I'm having the problem of when I saw them, the actual order of the memory, right? Saw the classic Blob, like at home or like a VHS or somehow I remember seeing that, and that just was terrifying. And then a little bit later on in life, I know they did like a remake of it or something came out, and I was at a friend's house. It was like his birthday party, and his mom would let him just watch anything, right? So there's like a bunch of us, maybe 10, 11 at a birthday party, and I remember it because there was like a a scene with explicit sexuality, is what the warning would have said, at a lake, and these kids are what I don't know, make it out, and like the Blob gets one of them, and I just remember thinking, well, I'm not doing any of this. I'm not going to a lake. I'm not going to talk to girls. I'm not going to do anything. Like, I was just terrified. And then I think I mentioned the story before, so I won't go into the details of it. But the Silver Bullet, which is like a werewolf picture in like 1985, with I think one of the Corey's Haim, and I think Nick Nolte's in it. And that's the one that caused me to pee my sleeping bag at a slumber party. So, a lot of problems.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna have to try that one out and see how my bladder does.
I don't, it's probably not even scary, but when you're 7 or 8, Nick Nolte can be scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember they had a Ghoulies poster at our local video rental store, and it was the ghoulie coming out of the toilet. I had never seen the movie.
Is that what it is? Yes.
Yeah, I could not. I didn't want to use the bathroom. I'm not kidding you.
Yes.
I would always like look in the toilet because I was so afraid, and I do it so fast because I was afraid at any moment a ghoulie would come out of the toilet.
I gotta look up this. It's a 1985 film. I gotta look up the photo. Yeah, oh God, there it is. Movies to go on Grand Avenue in Arroyo Grande, California. This movie, the VHS of this, it terrified me.
Terrifying.
They'll get you in the end. That's wordplay.
Oh my gosh.
My dad told me a story about being a janitor and having Dracula-like rats actually come thundering out of the toilet and crawling up his arm. And so since my dad foolishly told me that at a young age, I was like, I'm not afraid of ghoulies. I'm afraid of a pack of actual rats. That's what I'm afraid of.
Right? Horrible. Wait, why'd you tell us that? That would be scared.
It's the season for spooky.
I didn't know that was actually possible.
Yeah.
Oh, Guy. I don't want to Google it for fear of what I might find.
No,
Jay from Nowhere says, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street with my mom on the couch who promised to stay awake. She did not. In a movie about killing you in your sleep. And I was 9.
Oh, no.
This story, in the way it's written, is an excellent horror movie all by itself.
Yeah.
And I was 9.
9. I could probably share this on my screen, but I don't want to mess anything up. But there's the Ghoulies.
Yep.
Terrifying.
And in retrospect, like you watch it and it is like, this puppet guy, like, I bet it's not that scary. But the concept of it as a kid, come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a thing in New York. Rats in the sewer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of the toilet?
Yep. New York and Brainerd, Minnesota. Apparently.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. This has been a lot of fun. A few more questions. If you get them in, get your questions in. I'm gonna cough. You guys pick one because I need to step off.
Okay. Sam Staubel says, y'all have shared your thoughts on UFOs, but have any of you experienced any other weird, spooky things? Jennifer, have you experienced any? I think the spirit of Sam's question is spooky things that you don't have an answer for, but I think we could also accept just things that were of the sort of horror movie vein, but in real life.
My mom is Mexican American. Well, both of my parents are. So she has a lot of things that are like folklore, but she thinks it's like real. So she would tell me all these terrifying things of things that she heard or noises and like the supernatural. It seemed very real as a child. The story of La Llorona, the lady crying for her dead children, which is why you don't go out at night. That's what she used to tell me. Because La Llorona could get you.
Wow.
So, I lived in perpetual fear of things happening.
What did La Llorona do to you then? Adopt you? Or?
There's various stories. One is that she actually killed her children. She drowned them to get back at her husband, who she caught cheating on her. Or the other one is that somebody took her kids and killed them. And so then she would roam the streets looking for crying for her children, and then my mom put it on like looking for children to take with her to the afterlife.
Okay.
There's a lot there.
There's a
Sam
lot
says,
there.
my partner is Latina as well, and her family have lots of stories.
Exactly. We live in the realm of the real and not real.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Wow. The weird, my recent stance on UFOs is tied to bigger conversations about conspiracy theories and political stuff, obviously, but like the interest began in because I did see something in the skies in about the summer of 2000 area at my job, and it's something that a lot of people have seen, so it makes me think that we're seeing something that's probably normal, but to other people, not to us when we see it. But I was having a 3 a.m. lunch break in my security patrol vehicle up on the top of the mall parking structure, and just devouring Del Taco tacos. It was a great lunch. And I saw something, and I've seen all the airplanes in the area. I know all the LAPD airships. It was like, what is that? And I saw this thing kind of doing this weird float. It was a light, and then all of a sudden just it vanished off. And people have described that elsewhere. So that got me like, all right, let's dig into it more. And I do think there's things that are unexplained. My buddy Mark Riley has a fantastically spooky story in the Michigan wilderness while filming his movie Gray Skies about aliens. We talk about it. We were texting yesterday as the whistleblowers on this recent thing, as their stories start to unravel or go nowhere. Mark, I told him, like, I still believe yours. It's weird. So there's that. And then two weird things. There was an abandoned building in the mall I worked at for years. That I would go in and we would patrol it. It was dark, abandoned buildings can be scary anyways. And I'm not fibbing, not lying, not exaggerating anything. Two things happened. One, that my name was written in the I don't know it's not asbestos, but like the metal iron bars that the whole building was built on have like that concrete kind of sprayed up there. My name was up there, Ken.
No.
And I don't know, maybe the construction guy building that was Ken. I don't know. That was always weird. And towards the end of my time there, that was 2015. I was in the building, just when I was in suit and tie and everything, and a time card that of mine, and it said Ken Napzok, was ripped, and the piece was just sitting on that same floor. There was a time card from about 2000, and I had kept all my time cards because I was a hoarder. So that was weird. And then that same level, the second level, this abandoned building. One day, about 2014, when a security director, the operations manager, Dominic, calls me and says, "Hey, man, can you come up here? We've got an issue." And people would always break into that building, or you could access it through the back door of Barnes & Noble. The old mall food court chairs, which are hardwood and black wire kind of thing, were stacked in a pyramid to the very tippy top, like this. There's no way a human without a high lift on the second level could have done it that we could think of. Again, that we could think of. And we're sitting there, and he's like, some employees got in here, some kids playing around, but it was so high. It's not like it was like what a sporting goods store or a Barnes & Noble. You go in there, the ceiling's high. It's an empty space. It was so large, and it went to the one final chair on the top that almost touched the ceiling. and to this day, we're like, he and I will still talk about it. I don't know what happened. And so all those little things, and I've always told Grace about that. She's like, your name showing up there. that second level, something going on there. That's the only thing I'll say.
That's scary.
A spooky thing. It's also funny that happened that I'm sure there is a rational explanation for, but I don't know what it is. Shockingly, action figure related. I think must have been the early 90s. There's a line of Marvel action figures from the comic books, and they had put out a couple of talking ones that came with a little backpack that you could plug into them. It had a little speaker, and you hit one of three buttons, and they said three things. And I got an action figure of the Spider-Man villain Venom because one of the things that he said was, "I want to eat your brain." And one night I'm sleeping in my bedroom with all of my action figures, and I'm having weird dreams, and then I hear something. I wake up, and I just hear again and again, I want to eat your brain. 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 So it's like, why something must be pressing on Venom's button. So I get up and I go to Venom, and I hit the button and he doesn't stop. I hit the other two buttons and he doesn't stop. Nothing can make Venom stop saying, I want to eat your brain. I want to eat your brain. I want to eat your brain. So I wrapped him up like in a pillowcase and put him in the closet. And then it was like, Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart, where just in the distance I could hear the and managed to go to sleep, and he stopped in the morning and never did it again.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, I could point to bad wiring or a stuck button, but I don't know.
Why? I mean, like,
That's
I don't know.
weird.
Yeah, like I think I can't remember. I think he hissed and then said something like "Die, Spider-Man." So whatever it was, it picked the creepiest of the three things for him to say.
It's
I want
really
to eat your
creepy.
brains. I want to eat your brains.
I want to eat your brain.
Oh
There we
my
go.
gosh.
I don't know. I want to hear more of Jen's family stories. I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
And it's like it's like anything, you don't, until you experience it. I get it. I get I get the desire to have to try to assign answers to all this stuff. But
Yeah,
Mhm,
I mean, I'm big on the we don't know everything and we can make new discoveries. I just don't like to rush to it without looking for some other
yes.
explanation.
Yeah, the final there at the end there was one section of the mall, we call it a zone 1. It's the lower portion of the mall, and the night cleaning crew, I found out, did not like to go there. My graveyard security guys told me, this is like 2010 or 11 range, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then one night, my graveyard guy goes like, hey, when you're coming in the morning, I got to show you something. And he stayed late and he showed me, and there was video footage. We had a motion sensor camera in that, or light, not a camera, but a light. And he goes, look, the whole night this light goes on and off. It's something and no one's going there. No one's going in and out of the area. I was like, all right, could be wiring, but maybe it's going to catch on fire. But
You gotta write a horror movie about your experiences.
yeah,
That would be so good.
maybe horror in the mall.
Yeah.
Horror in the mall.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 questions left here.
Cool.
We can grab this one from Jay from Nowhere. If time, money, and resources were no object, what Halloween costume would we want? Would be wanting?
Could I recreate my my Western gear from the Hallelujah Hoedowns of my childhood?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it for me, it's something that I would still feel like comfortable in.
Right.
I've mentioned this for a comedy panel at the convention I go to in Minnesota, Convergence. For complicated reasons, I had a friend make me a big onesie of the Ham's Beer Bear, and that and I every time I wear it, I can't take it off. I wander around the convention because it's just so comfy, and I get to be a bear. So that's my ideal, to have something that's kind of comfy. I don't know, like right now, because I'm going through a real Dracula phase. I just reread the novel. I would love for somebody to make me like a very accurate, classic Bela Lugosi, top to bottom, cape with the little cowl and everything.
That's good.
That's solid. I'm scrambling here. You all know I don't dress up much, so it might be, it's a character from all these movies. We've already mentioned a couple, but I would go like a full, really good Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I would want to be like a mascot character. So I'm thinking, but a beloved one. So like maybe Hello Kitty, Monchichi, and just
Mr.
like
Toad.
because I think it'd be really fun. Like there's something kids really get excited on Halloween, and it's like really magical for them, and to create like a really fun experience. Going back to my Disney days, there's just nothing like seeing kids like, oh my gosh, right? And I could it'd be a chance for me to perform. And I put on a show for the neighborhood kids. Like Judy Garland and Mickey, what's his name? Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. I think these are good answers. I don't know if they're the exact exciting ones Jay from Nowhere wanted, but
Yeah,
I stand
but
by it.
they're honest. They're honest. All right, we got a couple more questions coming in. Do we want to knock those out, or
Yeah, let's do
okay?
that. I do have to roll to a Halloween party, so we got a couple more
fun.
minutes here. But I
Yeah.
see we got one in the hopper, and then we got a pumpkins question from our buddy Ken Plume here.
Yeah.
Pumpkin carving pumpkins, yeah or nay? What did you do for your last best? Nay. The last time I carved a pumpkin, I lived in Orange County and I was 5.
Yeah. The first and last time I attempted to carve a pumpkin, I believe I was 4 and had texture issues. It was not prepared by my parents that this wasn't just going to be fun. I thought it was, I get to draw with a knife, which sounded great. And they were like, in the first, you have to basically do surgery. And we did not warn you how this was going to feel on your hands. Everything we've instructed you not to touch or smell, it's going to be that. Like the thing we would normally go, no, don't do that. That's what it's going to like. Anyway, so it is only time preventing me now because my wife and I have talked about it. We've got a very small little balcony, but people put their pumpkins out. And every October, we're like, we should do it. We should do it. And then we just don't end up with time. So I would love to make one. And I would love to just make one with maybe a shocked face. I'd like a shocked face. Yeah.
Yeah, the inside of pumpkins are a hellscape. I don't want to visit again.
Yeah.
Jennifer, you're very, this is up your craft alley, as it were, carving pumpkins, right?
No. Ken, you reminded me I need to go get pumpkins because my kids said that they wanted to carve pumpkins. And I was like, are you sure? Maybe we could make, no, they want to carve them. And it's the worst because like, if you mess up on your pump, that's it. Like
you're done.
You're done. My daughter is a great artist and she's kind of a perfectionist. And so I can already see where this is going to go. And then the 4-year-old's going to be with a goop in the hand. Oh gosh. But I got to do it. We got to, it's a rite of passage. So
yeah, you want to give them, they might love it. They might not be like me in Orange County at 5 going, you've lied to me about what's inside here. Okay, that's fair.
Oh gosh.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Good answers. You guys have been great all day. We got a big one here. This is from 8984M. Twizzlers or red vines?
There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
I can't remember the last time I did a taste test, so this is just some bizarre brand loyalty on my part, but Twizzlers.
Twizzlers? What?
Really?
No.
All right.
No.
I love it. Well, educate me.
I love it. Okay.
There is a distinct difference between a Twizzler and a red vine. The
Yeah.
texture alone, if you notice when you take out the Twizzler from its like backing, it's gooey. It almost like you can peel it up, and they're usually stuck together.
It's like string cheese.
Yeah, it's not good. The red vines, which typically come in the bucket, right? There's a dryness to it, but there still is a chewiness that I appreciate. But they're not gooey like the Twizzlers.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do I want dry buckets or moist cheese stick like fruit?
Is it dry buckets? Is a character from the High Republic novels, right? Is that? Did I remember that right?
You can have like
a British
you can have a red
sitcom from
vine
the
fight.
70s.
You know what I mean? Like you can be silly with a red vine. You can wave it around in the air, which I've done. You cannot do that with a red vine. John Webster film.
Apparently our sweaty floppy sword, the Twizzler.
So Plume, who's lived all around the country, Twizzler and Red Vine loyalty seems to be a regional thing, and then 898 for him, Red Vine seems to be a West Coast thing. I wouldn't necessarily know that, but
yeah, I think I've been more exposed to red vines, but not as exposed to this battle. And this whole dry bucket thing. I mean, I feel like I've seen. Well, I wanted to give the character that Ken played in the Nightmare Adorable film a little flair, and it's like it's not going to be. It's got to be part of the script. It's not going to be part of the story. This guy's just going to be always chowing on Twizzlers or red vines. and I got some of both because the stores kept being out of one or the other. But maybe the stores just had extreme loyalty.
Maybe.
But I went through having to search for them. I don't feel like red vines were in buckets though.
They can also
yeah.
be in a plastic packaging, but
Yeah,
if
yeah, no,
craft
yeah, yeah.
services,
Yeah.
craft services always has the red vine bucket.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
I always make
okay.
a beeline for that.
I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe there's those times when you're not yet in a loving, caring relationship and you're just kind of alone and you're a sad bachelor and you maybe get the bucket for yourself. Just leave it on the kitchen counter for a while.
Yes.
A bucket for one, please.
Or bachelorette. I
but-
have done the same.
Yeah, I will say this. I do prefer red vines, and I remember, I think either your text or email, Joseph, if you did ask me, this was an
Yeah.
official film question. Do you prefer Twizzlers or red vines? And I was like, I will be happy with both, but I think Jen's 100% right about the Twizzlers. There's a weird string cheese gooiness that I don't know why it's there, but it's fine. I worked through it, but I'll go red vines. And what did we ended up? We ended up on these red vines, right? Yeah. So
I got a mix of both, and then
that's right.
we got through everything we needed to shoot with them, and the rest of the cast and crew devoured one and left the other, and I can't remember which.
Red vines. They devoured the red vines.
I think they did. No, I think they did devour the red vines, and the Twizzlers were left. I think I even remember talking about that with Amy Vorpal and Hal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
You know
rest
what?
My case.
I think that I need to try some more red vines. I think maybe I was more exposed to Twizzlers in the Midwest, but if not, creamy and soft is most of our cuisine. So perhaps that's why the Midwest preferred
Look,
Twizzlers.
tell Sarah, honey, I'm going to run to the store. I need to pick up some dry buckets of candy.
Got
We're
a
gonna
new
have it on the
Halloween
counter.
plan.
Yeah.
All dry buckets.
Do an experiment and leave them out for the trick-or-treaters. Which ones will they take?
That's amazing. That's a great way to end. Also, we want to shout out Matthew Stokes. Just a quick thanks for all you do. We really appreciate it. As always, you guys supporting us overall, but supporting us during this OtherCenter time period, which has been just a lot of fun. In fact, so fun. Parts of it will still remain even after the strike ends, but it means a lot to us, perhaps even now more than ever. So we appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. I think that's it. I'm going to a non-costume Halloween party, and I couldn't be more happy and thankful. Joseph needs a refill. And Jen, we know that you probably need to go try on a Furby costume and make last-minute adjustments.
Yeah, go to Trader Joe's and get some pumpkins.
There it is. We do want to highlight some stuff on the way out, though. We want to make sure, I'll just say I don't want to get too deep and get my mood back down. It's kind of tough to be an artistic person these days, and kind of tough to, in the sense of there's bigger problems in the world, but tough to maybe get your stuff out there and have people find it, listen. So we do a lot of other things here. I want to highlight first. I forgot to grab a picture, Jen, but you're doing some wonderful pop culture doc stuff on your YouTube channel. You got the Lisa Frank stuff. You got Furbies. You got other things on the way. So highlight some of the stuff you want them to check out.
Yeah, you can find all of that on my YouTube channel at Jennifer Landa, Instagram, same name, TikTok at Jennifer Landa 1138. Diving into all things retro from the 80s, 90s. I got a lot of ideas. I just got to find the time after my Furby costume. We'll go down the rabbit hole together.
Love that. And then we have this from last time. I think this is related to the other. I just pressed a lot of buttons I didn't want to press. Sorry about that. All at once. Get it.
Problem.
Yep. There we go. That's the button. Joseph, update. You were in Mobile. For those who are close to there, might want to check it out and update those folks on your own.
Yeah. So November 3rd through the 5th, the HP Lovecraft Film Festival is doing, for the first time, they want to reach some cosmic horror and horror in general fans in a different part of the U.S. So they're doing this in Mobile, Alabama. They're sharing some great stuff about the city. I've never been there, so I'm really excited to check it out. If you're interested at all, you can go to my website, josephscrimshaw.com, and there is a link to that. If you happen to be closer to Sofia, Bulgaria, it's also playing in Sofia, Bulgaria over the next October 31st through November 5th, sometime in there. And I'll also just second what Ken says, and I see some people in the comments. agreeing it's always been an uphill battle to be an indie artist. But I think with the shattering of social media, the degree of the incline on the hill has suddenly changed horrifically. It's just harder to reach even the people who are already interested and care. So thank you for the people who stay connected and stay so supportive. So many of you are so very supportive, and we appreciate it very much. Other thing very quickly is I have put out a short horror story that's tied to the film, but you don't need to have seen the film to enjoy it. That's up on my Bandcamp. There's a big button at the top of my website that'll take you to Bandcamp if you want to hear that story. It's about 45 minutes of actual cosmic horror. The story is called The Beast That Ate the Dawn.
The Beast That Ate the Dawn. Ah, man, I can't wait for other people just to see the Nightmare Adorable as well. Yeah, seconding everything everyone said here, but also, yeah, my special in my day is out there, but it's on Bandcamp. I have a special edition with some additional content. I'm really proud of this, and would love to have it all. Check it out. Next Friday is the next Bandcamp day, which is a great way to support independent artists. And on the way out, I think I'll play a little video as we sign out here. It's weird. I've started to kind of think people think I'm joking, which I get. But I co-wrote 7 songs with Brian Tiller and Sean Arnold, who are sometimes are often in the chat here. We formed a little band. They're the band. I'm the lyrics. It's called the Moon Agers. Little tip of the cap to David Bowie, of course. And we release our first single next Friday, but it's available for pre-order today. And then our album, our little 7-song EP, comes out in December. I've worked very hard on it, and I'm very proud of it. And I just feel as though no one believes it's real. Like they're like, sure, comedy guy. It's not a comedy record. It's music, and I love it. So, anyways, that's it. We'll stop telling you where to find our stuff because you guys support us so well. We appreciate it. We're out of here. We'll see you soon. Thanks for the final super chat. Thank you, Mr. Ken Plume. I'll see you on Fortnite at some other point tonight. Bye, friends. Goodbye.
Can I leave?